Hey everyone and welcome back to Haste Kitchen. Now I get comments in the description box each week asking for different variations and dishes. And usually that variation is the 80-20 split. A lot of you want to know what the 20 is. So there's some comfort food. You don't get much more comforting than things like sausage and mash. It's a bit of a British classic. We do some beautiful grilled off sausages with a little bit of rosemary and garlic. Finish that off in the oven. We're going to make a lovely red wine jus with caramelised onions and serve that up with a beautiful buttery mash. You're going to get a pan up to heat. Now, one of the most important thing about this type of recipe, put quality sausages in. If you put rubbish sausages in, it's not going to taste nice. So pan up to heat. Into there we're going to go with our sausages. Don't need any oil in there at all. So you can peel off about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic. Doesn't matter about a bit of skin on there, we're not actually going to be eating these. It's just going to add that flavour to the actual oil that's coming out of the sausage. Into there we've got around 4 or 5 decent sprigs of our rosemary. A tiny little drizzle of oil. I'm going to transfer that straight to a pan and that's going to go into the oven at 180 Celsius for around 20 to 25 minutes. So we're going to get a pan of water up to a rolling boil. We're going to season with salt for our potatoes. Then into our pan, which we put our sausages in, we're going to finely slice 2 whole red onions. So we're going to add around 50 grams of butter. Yeah, I know this is a little bit indulgent in this one, but sometimes you've got to have your cheat meal. Otherwise, what is the point? We're going to add all our onion, and just going to lightly caramelise that off. Now, for things like the onions, you want to get a little bit of colour on there, but not too much that it burns in any way. They'll go really, really bitter otherwise. So slowly and longer caramelises them. Then we're going to go in there with a little bit of red wine. So we're going in there with about 1.5 glasses. Little and often, let it sweat down, let it reduce, and then add just a little bit more. We grab about 250 millilitres of good quality beef stock, and because that's rendered down by about half the quantity, I'm going to add that in and again render that down again until it's pretty much gone down half inside. Meanwhile, we're going to get on with our potatoes. So I'm peeling a couple of potatoes. We're usually going to go in there for about 2 of these per person. You can change this and use sweet potato if you want. As I say, we're doing this as a little bit of a cheat meal. So for the potatoes, we're just going to half and quarter these, add them to the pan for about 7 to 8 minutes. The smaller the potato, the quicker they're going to cook. You see how thick and glossy that's gone? It's reduced down by about 3/4. Right, I'm going to drain off our potatoes. I'm going to season. We've got about 1.5 tablespoons of double cream. You're going to grab yourself a ring just to stir this up, and we're going to pile some of our mash just in the inside and press down that firmly. Now this is totally optional. This is all really just about how you're going to get the dish to look. You see, just taking that off just completely changes the way you present this type of dish, rather than just smashing a big plate load of mashed potato in the centre. We're going to grab our sausages out of the oven. You see how lovely and glazed they've gone. They smell so much like rosemary of garlic. There's a couple of those just over the top. Go over the top with a little bit, first of all, of our beautiful glazed red onions. And then finally, we're just going to finish that off with just a little bit of a ball of watercress. Just going to lightly roll that into a ball. I'm just going to add that as our greenery. So there you go. That is my bangers and mash, or sausage and mash, whatever you want to call it, with caramelised red onion jus. Super simple to do. Now, I want to know, what's your favourite dish and what's your best comfort food? Let me know in the description box down below. If you recreate this one, hashtag me as Haste Kitchen as always. And I'll see you next week. Cheers, bye-bye.